Ever since I can remember, public service has been really important in my family. For me, it's something I've always really believed, that you can't complain about the system if you aren't going to try to be a part of it or try to help solve the problems within the system. My name is Rachael Rollins. I am a 1994 graduate of UMass Amherst, and I have an education degree as well as an African-American Studies degree. I had a scholarship to attend UMass to play lacrosse. One of the things I'm really proud of is that some records that I held while I was a player at UMass Amherst back in 1993, in particular, are still records today, some 26 years later. After my freshman year, the team was cut. Me and a few of the female athletes ultimately retained counsel, had discussions with the university, and after the threat of a Title IX lawsuit, we got many of those women's teams reinstated. It was a really exciting time for me to be actively involved in this movement to get gender issues seen before the university and get our team reinstated, while I was also learning so much about the history of my people particularly, but African Americans in general. It was a super exciting time for me to see that, and one that I think back on often. So that situation of getting our team reinstated was the reason I decided to go to law school. I've had a really interesting career since graduating from UMass Amherst. I left UMass and went directly to Northeastern University School of Law, where I graduated with a Juris Doctorate. I clerked on the Mass Appeals Court and then went to Georgetown University Law Center. I then worked for the federal government as a field attorney at the National Labor Relations Board, and then a very large law firm, Bingham McCutcheon. And after that, I was a federal prosecutor with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston. Left there to become the chief legal counsel of the Mass Department of Transportation and the MBTA, and then left there to become the chief legal counsel of Massport, the Massachusetts Port Authority, and recently went to Harvard Business School and got an executive education program certificate, which is their alternative to an executive MBA. I've also been really fortunate to be elected to a lot of wonderful positions. I sit on the Rappaport Board of Law and Public Policy, and I volunteer my time at many other really interesting and exciting organizations. Oftentimes people see the oral skills necessary to be a lawyer. What a lot of people don't realize, prior to you standing up and saying anything to a judge or a jury, there are pleadings that are filed, there are motions, there are memos in support of the motions that you file that have to be clearly and concisely written and persuasive. And so I credit UMass Amherst, and in particular my African American Studies professors, with teaching me the importance of, reading tons of information, synthesizing that information, and concisely sort of feeding it back to whomever the reader is or whomever the listener is in a persuasive way. In my opinion, there's nothing more important than being an excellent writer to being an excellent lawyer. UMass Amherst I really credit with beginning to hone my writing skills, which is something that I use daily as a lawyer. When I first arrived at UMass Amherst, I was really surprised at how large the campus was, and how many students there were on the campus. But I feel strongly that this place really exposes you to what the world is going to be like. There are so many different clusters of people and areas, whether it's Northeast or Sylvan or Southwest, and all the different types of people that live in each of those areas. It's a small city, and it really helped me grow up very quickly and to learn what the world was going to be like when I graduated, and I was very well equipped as a result of graduating from the school.